Greetings, peace, love and light family. Welcome to another video with me, Mathix. Now today I want to talk to you about a very serious subject. This is something that a lot of people experience, and I think we all experience it to some degree, and that is depression. We're gonna look at depression from a spiritual point of view, as all things stem from the spiritual and then filter down into the physical, which is why depression can cause physical illnesses. It can manifest physically because your body houses energies from the invisible and they manifest physically. So stress, anxiety, fear, anger, all of these impact different parts of your body, such as your liver, your heart, your different organs. Now, depression is known as the number one disease in the world, and it actually is a disease or a sickness. And the reason for that is that when you are experiencing depression, it's a disease because it means the inner harmony, the inner self that should be aligned is in dis-ease. It's not easy, it's at dis-ease. You're not easy inside, so it manifests as a disease. Now, there are many things that can bring about and that do bring about the feeling of depression. That could be the sudden death or loss of a loved one, losing a job, going bankrupt, death of, I already mentioned death of a spouse, a loved one, a child, a partner, a parent, a sibling. That can bring about these deep states of depression. But at the cause, we need to go to the root cause, because there are many institutions, people go to psychiatrists and all these different places, and they are prescribed different medicines and medication. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take different medications, for your disease or for whatever sickness that you're experiencing. But there is always a cause. There's always a root cause. And that cause is spiritual. Now, you ask yourself, why are the statistics of people who commit suicide so high in so-called well-developed countries, such as, Europe and all these places? You find that people who commit suicide are people who are rich, who are well-established. They've gained a sense of authority or power in their represented circle. And you find that the stats of people who commit suicide are very high there. Now, that is because when you are, let's say, living below the poverty line, right, there's still something that you feel you must achieve. So you have not satisfied your basic needs, basically. You're still on that survival mentality mindset. Okay, I gotta get food. It's rare that you hear that someone poor had committed suicide, unless it was like deep chronic depression. But usually those people would fall into other type of things. Maybe some will go into crime, or they'll hustle in whatever way. They'll find a way to come up with some business to satisfy just those basic survival needs. And it's rare that they'll tip the scale into the state of depression, like, oh, I'm poor, let me kill myself. The reason why is because there's still that thing that, there's that place that I must reach physically, the physical achievement of things, material satisfaction. Now, those on the other side of the poverty line have reached that. They've reached it. They've got the money, they've got the popularity, they've got the power, but there's still a sense of, oh damn, what now? There's still that emptiness inside. Now, these are just stats. There are those who are below the poverty line who do commit suicide. And that's because there's many reasons and there's many things. Abuse, being bullied. There's so many things that could lead one to very deep states of depression. So it's not just about the physical, because now it's also mental, it's emotional. So there's many things that vary on this particular scale. But now we're going to talk about the cause, the root cause of depression is that the soul is in a deep rest. And then the person is unable to identify with what lies beyond the two eyes. So being severed from spirit, or that umbilical cord to the spiritual world having been cut off, is what brings about that feeling of emptiness. What is my purpose? Why am I here? That is humanity's greatest question. Why are we here? Why are we alive? The lack of ability for us to tap into our infinite eternal nature is what brings about depression. The lack of ability for us to identify with our eternal infinite nature is what brings about depression. The greatest cause of depression, to the sense where if one thing goes wrong, if one relationship goes wrong, if one job goes wrong, if one person does you wrong, or you do wrong to someone else, that infinite nature is channeled. And then after it's channeled, it's closed off. So you only identify with that current state. You only identify with that person. You only identify with this moment here. And now you are unable to see all other things. You are unable to see the 360 degrees of who you are. So when your spouse leaves you, or when someone passes away that was very dear to you, you've identified so much with the body, so much with the person, so much with the borrowed identity, that when it leaves, then you feel as if your sense of purpose is left. And I'm saying borrowed identity because all of us are borrowed. Each and every one of us, every single thing is living on borrowed time. This here earth is but a moment. It may seem long, but it is but a moment. And this moment is for God to experience through you material life and material existence. And it should come with the pleasures of it. Joy, happiness, all these great things, laughter. But in the society that we are now living in, we are cut away from that. And now we feel these emotions vicariously or artificially. That's why you see a lot of us always on our phones, just scrolling, looking at people's profiles, looking at people's lives, what are other people doing? we feel that we ourselves are not enough. And so we are plunged into these very deep, stressful, very sad, lonely states of depression. The soul is in a deep rest. So now you need to awaken to the knowledge of your infinite self and realize that there is actually nothing for you to do. That's another deep thing that causes depression, where society, when you are born, then at a certain age you go to grade 1, then grade 2, grade 3, you go to school. After that, you further your studies, then you get a job, and then you're supposed to save for retirement. So there's always this next thing. And society makes you feel that if you aren't doing certain things, then you are not worthy, or you do not form part of the worthy members of the society. If you do not make a certain amount of money, if you do not reach a certain state of popularity, or if you do not achieve certain things by a certain age, that you are lacking behind, or you are behind. And so now we've projected into the future all these ideas and these expectations. And then when you get to the age where you were expecting to have had these things, when they're not there, what happens? You fall into depression, midlife crisis. Oh my God, I'm behind. Behind what? Behind who? Who has set the standards for you? Who has set in place that by this age you need to have done this? Society has set that for you. Society has said that for you. And so that's why you see now most people being depressed also at a certain at a certain age, because they feel, oh my God, surely by now I should be. And if I'm not, then it means that I'm not. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Expectations. Recreate yourself, and also understand that there is nothing for you to do. It has already been done. You are alive. You exist. That's the gift. You are alive and you exist. That's the primary. Hold this to your core. Hold this as your core. I'm alive. I exist. Anything and everything that comes from that is secondary. You may be feeling sad. You may be feeling happy. Now, this is a technique. It's a method that will help you in moments where you are feeling depressed or lonely or sad. You may be feeling sad, lonely, anxious. What you need to understand is that you are the primary spark of existence. You are the spark of life. You are the spark of life that takes on forces and different bodies and embodiments as it travels. You are not that which you take on. So you are not your thoughts and you are not your emotions. What you need to do is observe emotions and thoughts just as you would see a cloud. You know when you see a cloud in the sky? You see it at one moment, it looks like a particular creature. Oh damn, it looks like an elephant. And then it changes, it looks like something else. Go with that. Do that with yourself. When you're feeling happy, observe the happiness as a cloud. Observe it. Feel it, embrace it, but don't identify with it. When you're feeling sad, feel the sadness, but don't identify with it. Feel it as a passing cloud, because you are here to experience seasons and change. But you are not that which you are experiencing. You are the observer of the experiencing. And because you are created by the Godhead, temporarily, you have been gifted or you have been given the ability to now also be the observer, the observed, and the act of observation. I'll give you an example. When you dream at night and you wake up in the morning, and let's say we're having a conversation like, yo, Mathix, I had a dream where I was doing this. I had a dream where I was walking up a mountain, and then I reached the mountain and the sun was shining on me, and then it started drizzling. This beautiful, wow, it was a very beautiful dream. And then I ask you, okay, so who were you in that dream? Were you the one climbing the mountain? Were you the one looking at yourself climbing the mountain? Or were you the mountain and all that which was involved in the dreams? You were all of those. You were the observer, the one seeing yourself climb. You were the one climbing, and you were that which you were climbing on, because all of it is happening in your head. So you are the observer, the observed, and the act of observation. Depression comes in when you are now only focusing purely on the observed. What car am I in? Who just passed away? What am I wearing? Who just broke up with me? Who doesn't want to date me? Who doesn't want to marry me? That's the observed. Switch it back to the one that's observing, to the one that's projecting, to the Atman, to the self, because that one is beyond. Life is a script where the soul, where what you call the Atman, the self, is playing these different roles. So in one version it's Mathix, in one version it's you watching this video, in another version it's your parent, it's your sister, it's your spouse, it's your teacher, it's your boss, it's your employee, it's your child, it's your son, it's your grandfather. But all of these are the self, and the self acts in these different roles. This is what they speak about in Buddhism, about life being a play. So when you start identifying with the play itself, it could plunge you into deep states of depression. So re-identify yourself. Understand that you are the one acting out the play and not the play itself. There's this story about this gentleman who played the Joker in
Dan die truck.
Why?
Zodat je each pilot ja legale police ja.
Yeah.
Plane PV.
All right, sure. There's this story of this man who played the Joker in the Dark Knight, the Batman movie. And after that, he committed suicide, because being the amazing actor that he is, he spent months identifying with that character to become that character. He put himself in that role of that character. He put himself in that role of that character. And after that, he couldn't handle it, even after the movie was over. Committed suicide. Who's this guy? Michael, is it Michael B. Jordan? The guy who plays Killmonger, Black Panther. There's this part where he speaks about debriefing. Like after a certain role, you have to go see a psychiatrist to get out of the role that you were pretending to be as an actor. I have a friend also who's who used to act in, there's this show that used to play. I forgot the name of the show, but we went to high school together, and so I know him. And so this other time he came to my house, and he was telling me, this other time we had a conversation. He's like, he was playing this character called Cheese in this other, I think it used to play on SABC 1. So this guy was like kind of psychotic in that role or in that character, to the point where after the show had ended, there had to be a period where psychologically he has to wash away from that. And there's many different methods that people use. I have another friend also who acts. He acted in different soapies. There's one where he acted, it was on ETV, he acted as a prophet, or a son of a prophet. And then he had a name, and then he also acts in another one. We also went to high school together. So cool how life just, gives you sometimes like a first-hand experience. So there's another one where he acts on SABC 1. He currently acts on SABC 1 as he acts as a doctor, Luyol. So he was telling me, he's like, bruh, sometimes when I walk at the mall and someone calls, let's say I hear the name Luyolo, or I hear my name, Karabo, or I hear another name, he responds, or he looks, he turns, and you find that they were not even calling him. Identification with the character. He's like, I have to, when I get home, I have to read and know the script for the next day. And then I only have 2 hours to be myself, probably when I make food and when I just sit down and chill. But I have to be practicing. So for about 80% of the day, I'm someone else. So I'm saying that to give you the example of what is happening to all of us, but on a cosmic level. On a higher cosmic level, we are these actors playing out these roles. Amethics. I'm super. I'm Mapefo. I'm this person. It's a role. It's a role that you've identified with. It's a role that we're identifying with. And when we go to the extreme, that's why on the chakra levels, that crown chakra, remember I said that the chakras or the psychological states within all of us develop in ages of 7 or in cycles of 7. So from the age of 7 to 14, you're dealing with your root chakra, which deals with survival. From 14 to 21, or from 7 to 14, sacral chakra deals with, other relationships. From 21 to 28, solar plexus, sense of power self. 21 to 28, heart chakra, connectivity, connecting with yourself and others outside. 28 to 35, throat chakra, speaking your truth, who you are, all of that. 35 to 42, dealing with your third eye, your vision, connecting, seeing the truth, breaking illusions. And then 42 to 49, you get into the crown chakra, which deals with higher cosmic consciousness, which deals with detachment. The crown chakra is very important. And in fact, people who are experiencing high levels of depression is also a function of the crown chakra being extremely closed. Because the crown chakra deals with detachment. Now, this is twofold, because when people are experiencing depression, it's either you want to go to drugs, you want to go to, there's many things that you'll go to for escaping. Pornography, series, overeating or not there's many things that you'll use to escape reality. And the reason why you want to escape reality is because you know that there's a version of you that is valid, not identified with reality, but from a cosmic crown chakra level. So even though you are not connected, you're connected. But then with drugs, it inverts the crown chakra. So instead of you detaching from the things that, like, no, I'm not the money, I'm not the experience, you want to, your form of detaching is running away. Whereas the crown chakra says, okay, I'm acting as Mathix, but I'm not attached to being Mathix. When Mathix is happy, that's the character for that day is happy. When he's sad, I feel the sadness because I'm still in the body. Remember, I'm the observer, the observed, and the observation. I'm not just the body. I'm the one observing what the body, the mind, the spirit is feeling. I'm the one looking. When you look in the mirror, who is it that's looking back? You are that which is looking back. That which you can't even put a name to it. That thing there at the back, that's what you are. So, the crown chakra, it detaches you, but in a healthy way, to say that, hey, you are more than this. But now when you go to drugs and when you go to alcohol, you're trying to run away. You're trying to detach, but from an unhealthy perspective or from an unhealthy way, because you are running away from it. The crown chakra is not you running away. The crown chakra also is the knowing. When you hear, you're not running away. You know that you are something higher. You know that you are infinite. You know that you are eternal. You know that this is temporary. You know that this is a role that you are playing. You know it. You know it. You know it. Crown chakra. Crown chakra. So when it's closed, you identify a lot with the physical. You identify. And here's the thing, if you want to be, if the greatest actors are the ones who take on that role, those are the ones that make you believe that, damn, you even when you see the actor in real life, you'll be like, he is that person, and then you remember, oh, kind of they were just playing a script. It's because for it to be good, you have to identify vele. But that's why the chakras are there. The crown chakra is where you debrief, or hey, Joe. God is that's how great of an actor the creator is. That's how great of an actor you are. That you've identified so much with this thing, with this name, that you've even forgotten that you are playing the role. That's how extreme we went as the human experience, or the human experiment, or the human project, or the human plan on this planet. That's how deep we went into it. Let's create a reality where we begin knowing that we are playing roles, and then gradually we begin to forget until we get to a point where we've even forgotten that we are acting. And then once we get to a certain state, that call, that trigger, that programming, that thing will call you back, the call to the one. You get to a point where you feel like, no man, there's something. And that's what most people are experiencing in this day and age. It's the call to the self again. It's the remembering, oh damn, I'm playing a role. Oh jeez. Oh my God, I thought this was real. I thought this was real. it'll be real. Or it is real, but only to a certain degree. Smoke and mirrors. It passes its seasons. Summer, autumn, winter, and spring. It's seasonal. It's seasonal. So you now must get into that point of knowing and understanding who you are, what it is you are, and why you are here. And you are here to experience. You are here to remember. You are here to find that divine spark within you. You are here to identify with Umdali, with the Creator, Mudimo, Utiko, Somandla, Obasom, Imana, the greatest being, the highest form of consciousness, the Most High, Yere, God, Umvelingani, Yena, Somandla, Ramasedi, Mudimo, the Elohim, the God consciousness, the source, the light, Lisedi, Libone, Ukanya, And when you find that light, when you find that hidden light, what you find is that the light is always there, but the light is existing in a world of seasons. And so now here's another method. In those days where you are happy, in those days where you are joyous and you are, that ecstasy, all of that, prepare. Use those moments to infuse love and light and laughter and find high vibrations into your heart, because you must understand that you are living in a seasonal world. So when winter comes, when the sun sets faster than it does in summer, you'll be ready for those times, because you'll understand, oh no, this is just a cloud. Oh no, this is just the season. Okay, winter only lasts from May to July. If you're in the southern hemisphere, if you're in the northern hemisphere, like, okay, winter's just in December until whenever people in the northern hemisphere experience winter. It's seasonal. But when you lose the ability to be 360 degrees, to know that you are multidimensional, it can really take you. And I'm not saying be in denial. I'm not saying be in denial of sadness. That's what I'm saying. When you're sad, feel the sadness. Like, feel it. Feel it. Like, I'm sad. Like, be on your bed and cry. Cry. Gentlemen, cry. This thing for men don't cry is why we're so angry. Me, I have crying meditations. I have crying meditations. There'll be days where I'm happy. And I'll be like, damn, I need to cry. I haven't cried in a long time. And I'll go to my bed and I'll think of something, or I'll put myself in a state and I'll cry. Oh, I'll cry. Oh, man. And after that crying, I'm just like, yes. It's energy. It's energy. When storms come, tornadoes, tsunamis, monsoons, that's the earth. Just it's cleansing. It's cleansing. It's moving things. So water, remember I spoke about water stores emotions and memory. All of that is stored, and when you cry, you let that out go. Cry sometimes. Cry. Get a friend. Call someone. Cry. If I could, I'd give you all my numbers and we could have deep conversations and you could vent to me, but that would be too much for me to bear and take on, You can do that on your own. Create an entity that you talk to. Speak to yourself, talk to yourself, because you're not by yourself. There are many beings inside of you, so you have a deep responsibility. You will be depressed because you're not just only carrying your lifetime here on earth alone. You're carrying the memories and the dreams and the hopes of your ancestors and generations that you don't even... All of that is in you. You are your ancestors' greatest wish made flesh. That which they wished for time and time ago. We're like, oh man, if this a few hundred years ago would be like mind-blowing. This freedom, this ability to learn, to grow, to connect, to understand. It's a dream. To them, it's a dream, and you are the living dream of that. So you are carrying those hopes inside of you. But I'm going to say again, there's nothing for you to do. but to just be here and now and present and affirm your existence and say, I exist, I am, I'm alive. I'm alive. When you're happy, say I'm alive. When you're sad, say I'm alive. I'm alive. And that feeling of sadness and anger and it really reaffirms the fact that you're alive. That's the primary. Everything else outside of that, actor. Everything outside of that is secondary. The cause, the root cause is that you are alive and you exist. The ego cannot be. There's this creative ego that is being born, that is being formed, this individuality, this God now becoming individualized, and this new thing that we are representing as humanity. It's fine, it cannot be fulfilled by money, by status, by power. It cannot be fulfilled by all of these things. And so people fall into depression because they get things that they thought once they gotten, oh no, they'll not be fulfilled. Then they get the things and then they still feel empty. They still feel empty. It's because temporal things cannot satisfy the eternal. Temporary things cannot satisfy that which is eternal. They cannot. These things move with the seasons. Cannot get fiat money, paper money to satisfy. What? To satisfy the metaphysical side of you? It can't. Can only give you the illusion of satisfaction. Oh, I can go to any restaurant I want. It gives you the physical pleasure. Oh, I could do this. Okay, I can have access to this, and there. But for how long? People, women, once I get pregnant, I have a baby. Oh, you get pregnant, you have a baby. Oh, yes. All the hopes and dreams are in that baby. And then the baby grows up, gone. What? You are alone again. What now? You're gonna have another baby? Huh? Oh, if I start a business, boom, business is successful, boom, feelings are still there. Nothing in the physical can. It's that thing inside, that spark. Ingapha, ikada. And you must circumcise your heart. To unveil the bride. The bride is your eternal nature. And it doesn't mean, once you know certain things that you won't feel moments of depression. Remember, you are in the world of seasons here. But use these moments, of peace and calmness to put yourself in states and be like, oh, okay, wow, yeah. Affirm things so that when these seasons do come, you know, man, I have a purpose. My purpose is to just be. You are the being that must become. You are the becoming. You have all of eternity to constantly become God over and over again. To reach a frequency that would just blow your mind away. But that's what you are participating in the greatest gift ever. You are becoming Mojo, God. The thing that made all of this, you are becoming it. You are becoming it daily. And the physical world is a great propelling tool or instrument that will propel you eons, light years ahead of time because of all its complexities and its resistance. You know when you pull on a rubber band, the further you pull it and you stretch it and you feel like you can't pull it anymore. When you leave it, the further it can launch. So when you leave the body, the heaviness, the density, all of this, it's resisting, it's pressure, it's refining your soul so that once you do leave this corpus, once you do leave this carcass, once you do leave this vessel, oh my word, the dimensions that you are propelled into, we can't even begin to speak about them. And some of you have had glimpses of these through your feelings or even in your dreams when you have Kundalini experiences, or some of you when you get high. When you get high, these are states that you naturally are in, but you just veiled by the lower vibrations. These are things that are innate to you. These are your birthrights, these harmonic, happy states. And And for the soul, planets like Earth and other terrestrial worlds are like games, are challenges. I'm smiling a lot for a video talking about depression, hey, because we are eternal, baby. We are eternal. We are eternal. We are one being acting as, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful act in all its drama, in all its, this person, my loved one, they gone. The pain, you feel it, like, cry your eyes out. And then as time moves on, again, the spirit comes back. It's like, hey, who told you that it was going to last forever? This is a role we're playing here. Let's keep the show going. The spirit doesn't die. Only the body dies. And then you're like, oh yeah. Why even? But then continue to play a role. But play it from a crown chakra level. Play it knowing that it's a role. Live your life, but live it knowing that it's a role. Do it's a human experience. Anger, joy, you feel it, do it, experience it. Yeah, we're no way to go. And then you know, every once in a while you go alone, you're like, whoa, damn. And you meditate. That's what meditation is about. It's briefly being like, damn. Because when you constantly play the role, then you're gonna become depressed. Because you're constantly identifying with the role. So now you need to go back to states where you identify with the one that's playing the role. You need to identify with the one that's seeing the role for it being a role. So yeah, family. Depression is a very, 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 very real thing, and it's a serious thing. But in summary, depression is your soul when it's in deep rest. And it manifests as a disease because internally you are in dis-ease, because your natural state is to be connected to the higher source consciousness and to know constantly of who you are. But then we've created this reality for reasons that cannot even be said here or will not be said here, for higher reasons. And the great awakening is about us remembering, damn, Kana, we are fragments of the one mind, of the one source. So we are loved, we are eternal, we have a purpose. There is something, we're not just here by chance, there is a divine intelligence that is beyond that intelligence that took you from a sperm and an egg, where you had no say in that. Lean on that intelligence. Lean on that intelligence that formed you in the womb. Lean on it. Know that it's still working. Sometimes your ego just gets in the way, and that's what causes your depression. Your ego. You now thinking that you should be having ultimate control over this, which you do not even know what this is at its ultimate. You don't know what makes your skin heal, what makes you breathe. You don't know that, but there's an intelligence, so lean on that intelligence. Peace, family. Love and light. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Ashe.
We only fighting with intellectual penetration.